the man, yes sir, they killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for our legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga thinks.
Just like the pack of Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from hunger pain.
Yeah, late ill kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, another wonderful episode of That's Right, Thumbnails. We're on animation, anime, all that jazz is fair game here. And we're going to be talking about Marvel, What If. This is episode 5. That's them zombies. So we're going to have a good time. Now, over here, I am joined by you know what? Hold up. Let me real. Beside me, all right, this gentleman, you've seen him on the show before. All right. You know him from breaking down movies. You know him from breaking down shows. And now he's here to lend a hand with an insightful commentary. I present to you RJ from the Nerdy Brew.
I don't know how insightful that was going to be. Appreciate the opening, good sir. But I will drop some whatever information I do have. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be back.
Word up. So, good to have you roll through. If you are new to the channel, go on and hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Go on and lock in your future. All right? Go and hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. And on top of that, just so you know, we may have some special guests today. But, you know what I'm saying? We might have some more folks rolling through. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. So, since you haven't been on the show to talk about Marvel What If yet, RJ, what's your general feeling about What If? Like, how you feeling about the show in general?
Honestly, my feelings about the show, it's mediocre. It's okay so far.
Ooh, I should have had you on with Jason.
I haven't been totally enthralled about it or ecstatic about it. It's a fine show. I do watch it week to week to see if my feelings are gonna change. The last 2 episodes have been very melancholy. And somber and desperate episodes. So I haven't really, that's not really my stilo. So the T'Challa episode was more the one that was a highlight episode for me. It was different, but it was also familiar. Captain Carter, it was fine. It was just a nice introduction to get your toes wet. But it didn't have enough substance for me because it was kind of a retread of what happened with the first Avengers. So so far it's okay. I gotta keep watching to the show to have a full consensus. But right now, I'm in the middle of the road between it right now.
All right, I'll give you that. The Captain America did come off to me. I liked it. But it was more of kind of like, this is almost like a straight retelling. All right. But the further we got into the other episodes, it's like, okay, this one thing changes tons of stuff. Now, before we go any further, we are joined by another esteemed colleague, all right, in the bottom square, Hannibal Taboo. Introduce yourself. What's up?
Hello. My name is Hannibal Taboo. I'm the writer of Project Wildfire in comic book stores November 24th, available for pre-order right now. You can also read Subversive Adventure Fiction False Flag on operative.net for free with illustrations by DeMar Douglas. Cool. And that is going on right now for free at operative.net.
Yeah. So Hannibal hasn't been on to talk about What If either. So up until this point, Hannibal, what are your general feelings about What If?
My general feelings were they started with a kind of a hopeful tone. They're like, oh, you're gonna see how possible things are and how we can overcome great things. And then it just keeps getting, but stuff could get really messed up. And then it could get even more messed up. And then, oh my God, we could talk about your mama. Wait, my mama? Did you have to talk about my mama? And then it just gets more intense that way. Which I'm not against, because it's a multiverse. Hey, roll out the plays.
And Eon001 said the what ifs are really showcasing the potential of PIM particles. Oh man. So with this episode, we get into Marvel zombies. All right. Zombies, we like, oh snap. What's going to happen? Now, for someone who hasn't read the Marvel Zombie series, I was just like, oh, I saw a couple covers. I was like, oh, all right, cool. They're doing zombies. Cool. But I had no idea that they got to retain their powers. Now, that's a whole nother. See, why y'all ain't tell me? I would have read it. All right. I didn't know they got to retain it. I didn't know they retained their powers. Now, of course, we got, all right, show them, you got, show them the styles. See, you see the styles right now? That's how he's coming through. So, speaking of Spider-Man, this is an episode where he kind of did everything right. I'll start off with that. Spider-Man is someone who I feel like actually didn't mess up this episode, when usually he makes like a small mistake that like screws stuff up. He actually held it down in this episode. He's not my full MVP, but he's like my co-MVP in this episode. When we think about this episode, RJ, is there anyone that kind of stands out to you with like, you know what? Thank God they were around.
I will say I'm not gonna necessarily MVP, but who surprised me, and I was very I don't know, I enjoyed their part very much, was Bucky. Bucky really came through to like hold things down, and he was just utilized well when things were popping off. I gotta watch my words. When things were popping off, he was just able to hold it down in such a way that he just was stoic. He was stoic, and he was the one that was the great ace in the hole to make sure that things remain fluent through the episode. Even though there was different outside mishaps, he was the one that was the additive to help them continue through the mission. So I enjoyed Bucky a lot.
Okay, Hannibal.
First of all, I want to agree with RJ. I thought Bucky was the great Scottie Pippen there. He was like dishing the passes. He was doing everything that needed to be done.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Who I really appreciated, who really, all of this would have fallen apart without, is Okoye. Okoye was like, yo, if I need to make a sacrifice, I'll make it. If I need to lead y'all, I'll lead y'all. When she made a mistake in tactically splitting people up, she was like, you know what? That was on me. My bad. I can definitely take the L on that one. She was mature enough to do all those things. That was fantastic to see. And even though I saw that the Cape chose Peter, and I was like, I'm not mad at you for doing that. I'm just saying Okoye could have done with some flying. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah, I think Okoye is my main MVP because everybody was kind of like fighting the zombies and everything, but she kind of came in as a general, like, okay, all right, I know we're all fighting this, but what we need to do is this and this. It's like an episode of Blue's Clues. All right, we get piece number 1, get piece number 2, and piece number 3. Now I know you'll probably be like, hey, NERDSoul, how you know about Blue's Clues? Well, I have a 3-year-old, so we be learning.
Don't forget about Dora. Don't act like Dora didn't put you through them 3 steps.
Oh yeah, Dora helped you out, all right? And depending on your age, I mean, take it back to the old Blue's Clues, all right? You know what I'm saying? He was helping you out too. So Okoye came through. I will kick this off. This part of the episode that surprised me, or this I guess turn of this specific episode surprised me, and how it seemed like, and I mean it's still Disney, but it seemed like they turned up the violence a little bit. It seemed like they were like, okay guys, look, it's zombies. We'll give you a mulligan. All right, go on and split people in half, and you know what? Like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and do what you got to do.
Yeah. It seemed like they did the best that they can do into emulating what they do from The Walking Dead, because there was a lot of guts and blood, and it was blue. They did not make it red for the sake of censors and Disney.
Yeah, the blood. As long as the blood is not red, You can kind of
Yeah,
dodge
we'll
around.
let it fly. Yeah, so they just made sure that the splatter and the gore was still appropriate or with the genre of zombies, but it was laid on pretty heavy in this episode.
Oh man. Oh, real quick. Shouts to Eon 001. Yo, with the crazy super chat. Thank you. Much love to you. Thank you for helping out the channel. There's, hey, batteries, wires, light bulbs cost money. It seems like little things, but they add up. Twist ties, it adds up. Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Of course, remember, you can be a part of Patreon. We do special stuff like that. Right now, there's a comedian that's straight roasting me on there. If you haven't seen it yet, it's kind of funny. But, feel free to support your boy. And don't forget, if you ain't got a dime, you got time to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Now, Hannibal, how you feeling on the violence level? Did you notice that it seemed like it picked up, or you were just like, nah?
Well, like I said, the week before, Doctor Strange destroyed the entire universe and went full hentai. So I was like, yeah, they suckered you in with that heartwarming Chadwick thing with him being Star-Lord. And they're like, oh, you good? You good? Ugh, take this in your face. And I believe that was an intentional choice that I'm not mad at.
All right, cool. Yeah, I will say most of these episodes ended in a good amount of the episodes end in a negative way. And they have their kind of like time, like timeless, but also time capsule feel. Like, okay, this could happen in the past or it could have happened in the future. It's just like out there, but it also ends poorly. Like, I think I guess T'Challa, no, because that kind of ends poorly because then you have Ego show up. Of course, Doctor Strange, everything goes to, disappears. Loki does take over, but you got Captain America and Captain Marvel at the end, so it's kind of semi-hopeful. You know what I'm saying? It's like they might do well. I forgot what happened at the end of Captain Carter.
Captain Carter, she was sucked. She appeared in the future, like she was woken up by Fury.
So those are kind of hopeful. Then you got Doctor Strange, which everything went down. But this one, the end was interesting because we're like, all right, cool. We got T'Challa. All right, we're gonna head back. Wakanda should be good. All right, we ain't got to worry about nothing. But then we find out your boy Thanos, Big T. You know what I'm saying? He is not only a zombie, but also has the gauntlet. Now, for Hannibal, who may have read this story, because Hannibal reviews a ton of comic books, I think with the gauntlet, there's no way you can get bit. Like, just slam dunk.
Here's the gag. The gauntlet, this is not based on a specific comic book thing, because in the comic book, Galactus was a zombie. All kinds of crazy stuff happened. But I believe it looks like he zombied before he got the gauntlet. And if you looked at the final frame, he had 5 of the 6 gems, and they were bringing the last gem to Wakanda where he was. So they were about to have a bad day no matter how you slice it. Thanos has always been a believer in death and the power of death. And the zombie stuff would have just encouraged him even further towards his comic book roots of actually being in love with Lady Death. And this would have empowered him to be able to do all kinds. Once he gets that last gem that they're literally flying to him right now, it's a wrap. It's going to be real ugly because they are not prepared for him. They're walking in thinking they go get, a fresh meal and some towels and something. And it's just all bad. It's all bad.
Speaking of it turning bad, do we like Vision in this one? How are we feeling about Vision in this episode? Because I guess for love, maybe, I don't know. It just seems it seems like a bad time.
It was. First of all, in the MCU, now not at all overall comics, but in the MCU, Vision is my favorite character. So when they have Vision take this turn of someone who doesn't have the clarity to make the right decisions, it's like really the biggest term is what if. Like, why would you do this to this character who has so much knowledge and potential through not only his artificial intelligence, but he also has the Mind Stone. So all of these probabilities, he was smart enough to make a cure. So he's gonna feel justified for this one person, the Baba Yaga, to do what he's doing. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So it kind of hurt me, and it kind of had me frustrated to have a confusion face for the majority of the rest of the episode of my favorite character doing something so asinine. I swear.
It did seem weird to me. Hannibal, where you at on Vision?
Here's what I'm gonna say, and I said it after the end of WandaVision. Vision's a monster. His woman's a monster. His kids are probably monsters. All of them are hot mess. Because what we saw here, I believe, was Vision freed from a vision with grief is going to be a hot mess. One of my homeboys, Quinn, tweeted at me. He says, "What is the Vision if not Frankenstein's monster enduring?" Because when you really look at it, either of them, gripped with grief, would make other people suffer for love, for their love of each other. And that's a balanced view. That's totally fair, but it's totally messed up. I don't believe that the Vision in this what if would have been able to lift that hammer. I'm gonna just say it.
Ooh, I agree. I definitely agree. Because I mean, I guess you could say he kind of turned it around in the end, but I think that was just because he was like, "All right, you got me." Like, now, RJ threw out the Baba Yaga. It was nice to have it was nice to have like the tag along guy, but because all right, this zombie episode kind of hit all the zombie tropes, but where you fail in what is it, Army of the Dead with daughter, you actually succeed with Scott's boy talking about Bobby, because it wasn't in Army of the Dead. If you've seen it, if you love zombies or whatever, you saw Army of the Dead, you're like, oh snap, Netflix, all your boy Zack Snyder, he's unleashed. Yeah, it should have been on Netflix. It was a rental. But anyway, the daughter messes up. There's always that character that's like, I'm going into the danger zone. It's like, but you don't have no training. You ain't even like a green belt in karate or nothing. You don't even know how to shoot nothing. Why you gonna go in there? I'm gonna go because I'm just gonna go. And then of course, craziness ensues trying to keep this stupid person safe when you should have just gun butted him, knocked him out, and went. But just look, throwing that out of there. Back to this. He knew how to stay out the way. He was just like, yo, man, look, I ain't sweet, but I happen to be here. Thank y'all for saving me. But I'm gonna just stay out the way and let y'all do y'all thing. He didn't try to overexert himself in any type of fights or anything. He kept his head low. And I thank Marvel for that. I thank you, because it could have got worse, but I thank you. I thank you a lot. But besides Baba Yaga, was anyone surprised with Scott? Because it actually did. It caught me off guard. Because I don't watch the promos. So Scott actually caught me off guard.
Yeah, same. The one thing that was super enjoyable is that he continued with the dad puns again and again. It was nice that, more puns intended here. It was nice that he was level-headed throughout the whole episode.
I see.
Yeah, that he was able to keep cracking jokes. And the funniest thing is with him cracking jokes, he was like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to stop, but I can't. So I enjoyed it very much to see. And it was a nice surprise. Just like you, I don't watch any of the promos either. So when the episode drops, I'm always having fresh eyes on it. So it was nice to see. It was super funny when he was like, I wish this chair was automatic. It would have been a better entrance.
Like if you would have turned around and so like,
yeah, it's very timely.
But go ahead.
I was gonna say, I will say that, to encapsulate things, if you don't mind, the riff on this from Futurama, which has a whole heads and things thing that looks exactly like that. I almost like I was drinking some water, I almost spit my water when he went that way because I was like totally expecting him to say, "And I am not a crook," and go full Nixon on me. But I appreciated the fact that they were able to do that. But what I really looked at, because Scott was there with the vision, that vision was like, yeah, I could do this, but I'm actually going to still be doing this horrible thing to feed the King of Wakanda's pieces to my wife because she's a zombie that I can't peel, but you know, love, whatever. So while I appreciated the comedy and I especially appreciated the puns and the dad jokes,
Yeah.
it kind of just leveled up the horror of what the vision was doing to me. I was like,
yeah, because the vision, when you
right.
think about it, this is a horrible situation.
Yeah, the man ain't got no junk no more. He ain't got no junk no more. I mean, come on.
The weird thing is, as we let the homie, big homie Solar Gray in, as we let him roll through, Hope sacrificed.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was
Hope
amazing.
dies.
Her only begotten life to sacrifice herself. I gotta give her props because Hope not only comes through for your boy Hope. Hope comes through throughout the episode, like when they were in the truck, where they were like able to travel around, you know, or the little van travel around and the little sanctity of their smallness. It was nice to see her say, all right, look, me not being able to let my mom go kind of started this off. I wasn't able to stop her then. You know, I gotta kind of set this right. And sadly, she had to go. The only thing is, when she died, nobody was like, hey, hold up, we need to kill her real quick. Because now she's super duper big and she's gonna be a zombie. Like, team, you're not helping right now. You're forgetting too much stuff. Do you think that with these heroes, there's an honest opportunity for them to forget that she was going to turn in a couple of seconds?
Are we talking about Hope?
Yeah. Like, do you really think that? Because I mean, for me, I'm like, hey, y'all gotta still kill her, cause she's gonna be a zombie in a second. Like, y'all gotta like take her out.
You know what? I think what kind of deterred them from doing that is the fact that they made it to the location where they believed was a sanctuary. So they thought that maybe she did get hurt, but they're on their way to find the cure or whatever the salvation may be for that situation. They were probably thinking of the foresight of that instead of the dire situation that was actually in. So they was just being hopeful in regards to hope.
Yeah, I mean, they made it clear that they thought they had found a cure via Wakanda. So it was like she got hit, but we're on our way to Wakanda. So maybe we
it'll
can
work
get
out
the cure before she goes all the way down, you know?
Let's also remember that when they got there, they were surprised that the zombies weren't coming in. They expected to still be fighting when they hit the ground. So they were surprised by that fact. And personally, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I wasn't disappointed that when Hope zombied out, that she didn't remember to press the button and size down right as she was falling. But you know, it's a stressful situation. I can't really armchair quarterback nobody that way.
I did figure that. I did think that was a callback to when Scott did it for the first time in Ant-Man and the Wasp. He grew and he didn't, his senses wasn't there for growing too big and the blood flow and all of that. So she was also getting attacked by zombies as well. So it was just too much confusion. She was already bit, and then it was just going down. It was a horrible place to be at.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of looked at it as the writers going, well, we already saw what a tiny zombie can do with Captain America. Let's see what a big one can do. I mean, it's not like they got that many giant characters.
Can we slow down and talk about that for just 1 second? So let me get this straight. Right. Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther, they just flew down and landed in the whole thing. They ain't stopped to look around. They ain't stopped to get a little more information.
Oh,
yeah, like kind of like circle the area.
Okay,
you know, a little recon.
See, I got the explanation. In that universe, the Avengers are stupid.
Oh, gotcha.
You see, infinite universes, infinite possibilities. So in that universe, Captain America was not the living legend war tactician that thinks everything through and reads Sun Tzu's Art of War before he goes to sleep. He's just a kid from Brooklyn. See that's what he was sitting on the stoop and he was smoking a blunt. Then zombies came.
And they then poured the super soldier serum on it.
Yeah, exactly. And they just kind of went, oh, zombies. Well, let me just pull over real quick. Like when you get in a ride from a friend and he decides to go to his girlfriend's house, you know, just got to make that thing. So, you know, it's just, you know.
I need to go fight some zombies, B. I need to lace up these boots, B.
Oh, this is a perfect place to land.
Just right here. Right
there in the middle. Yeah. There's nobody here, but there's a whole bunch of zombies like just right there. And that's only like 100 yards away. Oh, it's all good. Just go and land. Take it down.
Yeah, no, don't worry about that. We're gonna be all right.
Yeah, we all right. We're the Avengers,
homie. We're the Avengers.
Shoot, matter of fact, they zombies. We Avengers. We can run. They got a shamble. We cool.
Yeah. We'll be all right. But
I kind of want to talk about this for 1 second. Mm-hmm. Now we see in the starting of the episode with Bruce Banner, he's fallen. He came to the sanctuary or the sanctum. And then we have, it's starting off as Infinity War. And Tony and Doctor Strange come through. So they had this conversation. So did the events of Civil War happen? Because you see that the Avengers do go and Tony and Cap are together and then they're attacked by zombies. So it's like, in this world, did Civil War happen? Or did they reconcile before the zombies start or while the zombies started? And then Infinity War was still going to happen. Like, it's crazy.
I think this is one of those things where the dude from Austin Powers says, don't worry about that. Yeah. Have a good time.
No questions.
I'm thinking too hard.
Now, I will say this. Being a zombie obviously steps your fighting game up because when Ebony Maw came down talking that, because Ebony Maw is like the most poop talking of all Marvel.
You know,
blessings. Again, you are about to be destroyed by my boy. Like when he came out, it was like, and he was like, oh snap! Thanks, Tony. Hold up, Tony.
No, it wasn't even that. It was smart. It was you are about to die from Ebony Maw, and pay no attention to the portal opening up behind me with the gun coming through. You know, which again backs up my theory that in this universe, the Avengers were dumber than zombies. They were dumber than the brain dead because once he became a zombie, you know,
let's also remember, that when Ebony Maw showed up in the movies, Tony was all talk. Doctor Strange was all talk. A zombie is like, I ain't got nothing to talk about. I'm here to get this meat, player. What you talking about?
I'm hungry.
Or Tony Stark ain't hungry. That's a problem. He ain't hungry.
Yeah. No, that's. You know, it's fun. Now, y'all probably already talked about this before I got here, but what were your guys' thoughts about the differences in the zombie depiction between the What If episode and the Marvel Zombies comic?
We did not talk about that.
I had to throw that to either RJ or Hannibal because I've never read the comic.
Oh, okay. Because I know
y'all can educate me on that one.
Well, in the comics, the only thing different between being a zombie and being regular was that the body was deteriorating and they was hangry. That's about it. They had the same intelligence. Spider-Man still quipped.
Wow.
I think my favorite moment in the whole comic was when Wolverine tried to use his claws, but his flesh was rotted, so his bones popped out. But that was about it. But I mean, it's like, but I asked that question because it came out at a time that I was just zombied out. You know, I'm just like, oh, look, more oh, yeah, now Marvel zombies. Great. Next thing you know, we're gonna have Smurf zombies and Cheerio zombies. You know, they're
And I mean,
a whole bunch
DC
of,
has
you know,
Deceased, which
Mhm.
admittedly, I do enjoy Deceased. I don't know if they're going to go any further, but I do enjoy Deceased, I will say.
well, I enjoy Deceased. I mean, you guys know how I am with DC. But Deceased works because its primary protagonist is John Constantine, so it's in canon, you know, or it's in theme. But even while Marvel was doing zombies, look, it's Captain America with the chin that falls out like a Venture Brothers character. Even DC had Blackest Night. And I'm just like, zombies everywhere. Zombies everywhere. All right. What are people afraid of? But in Marvel zombies,
Actually, they're afraid of being eaten.
like, I thought it was a political commentary about the iPhone 12. That's just me. But Futurama did that already. But I was expecting when I saw this episode that the zombies were going to be a little less Romero and a little more Marvel. You know, I mean, they had a little bit of Marvel, but I was expecting like, well, I will say, favorite moment in the episode, favorite moment was when my boy got his due. Okay, because I'm tired of everybody making fun of Hawkeye. I'm like, you know, Hawkeye is super competent.
You're the Hawkeye fan. You're the Hawkeye fan.
I'm an Aquaman fan too. What? If you're gonna make fun of Hawkeye being on this team of gods, I don't want to hear any love about Batman. They're the same dude, except one has a boat and the other has a car. You know,
and $1 billion.
And $1 billion.
Hawkeye's got the government. You know, it's a thing, and we don't know how he rolling. You know, we just know he got a family that nobody knows about except for Nick Fury. So we don't know what he's up to. But
when you gotta watch out for them secret families. I'm just saying, watch out. You won't find.
Serious.
Look, if you're watching whoever's watching right now, you might find out about a secret family when somebody in your family dies. I'm just letting you know. Do not be surprised. You can show up to a funeral and be like, "Who are these 5 people?"
Dude, that's how I am
Trust
at every
me.
cookout. I'm like, you my
fun.
cousin? What? Yeah, you always find out about secret family at death and lottery winnings. But either way, yeah, I know I came to fight. But when it came down to the whole zombie thing, have we talked about that ending? Have we talked about the ending?
A little bit.
So
a little bit about your boy Big T.
Well, I didn't even get to talk about your point about the difference with the comics. So,
okay.
Because with that, I saw it and I thought, oh, I see why you did this. You've only got a half hour and you need to get the heck out of here. If Hawkeye is going to be talking and blah, blah, then, okay, we got to cast some more voice actors. We got to spend some more time on the booth.
Okay.
We got to, I figured that was a financial choice, first of all. And then I thought of it as the fact that Disney Plus is exposing this. So, for example, my boss at my day job is a casual Marvel fan. So she's definitely not going to go read the Marvel Zombies books, yada, yada. But she does love zombie movies. She watches The Walking Dead. So when she walks in, if she sees the zombies working, as you say, in a Romero way that she's familiar with, she's going to immediately click into that. If Hawkeye is shooting and doing gags and whatever, and if people are falling down and still have the intelligence, she's going to have a cognitive dissonance that's going to throw her off, which I actually thought was a problem with the Marvel Zombies book.
Okay.
This is a more open tool for a larger audience to absorb. And it's also financially cheaper to not have to actually get Chris Evans to be a zombie.
Man, look at you making dollars and cents.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciated that they had a lot of Marvel callbacks or Easter eggs to older or previous material that within the MCU. So if a casual fan was to watch, they could be like, I understand that reference. I hope you guys understand that reference.
Hey, look, the Vision's over at Captain America's old house. Look at that. Oh.
And I like that it was really a melancholy situation for Bucky when he ended up fighting Cap, and then it ended off with this is the end of the line. And you know how it correlates with Winter Soldier. I think that was just a great callback. And I also love
Best
blam,
line of the episode.
blam, blam, blam. That was
The best
awesome.
line of the episode.
Blam.
Oh, yeah.
Blam.
Or clever little Vixen comes in and says, Iron Man makes the perfect lead zombie when you think of it as horror commentary on capitalism, i.e., zombies are mindless consumers.
I not only agree, but I've also said for a long time that Tony Stark was the greatest threat to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general, and now they've replaced him as the greatest threat with another entitled white dude with facial hair. So I'm really appreciating that they're staying
he's
on
sorry.
theme.
Okay, we talked about him last week. He's sorry. He's really, really sorry.
And I'm sure all the corpses appreciate that.
There are no corpses when he was done.
Like, I mean,
that's part of the problem.
He spilled ink over the universe. That's all. Just
that's part of the problem.
And the whole thing with Tony, I still think, even I know we're in phase 4. We're in a new phase now, and if you follow the channel, the social, you know how I feel about the new phase. You know what I'm saying? I'm not all the way on board, but I feel like we're not batting 1,000. We somewhere in the middle, but something tells me there's still a possibility for like Ultron to come back and be worse. Like something tell me like Tony's going to be like, I got the gift that keeps on giving.
Okay. You know what?
Like something has me thinking like
I'm right there.
5 movies down the line, somebody's gonna be like, hey, this is a cool USB stick. Let me just put it in my computer.
Now I'm right there with you, especially in regards to what if, because the DC Plus, or sorry, the Disney Plus stuff has covered almost everything else. We've gotten 2 alternative Thanoses. One that had a cool conversation with his black friend to figure out that he was an incel, and another one who's a zombie saying, hey, thanks for bringing me that thing, but we haven't had one mention of Ultron in anything Disney Plus. We've had Zemo ironed out to where we all love his little dance. We got we've had Sharon Carter given a 3rd dimension, whether or not we like it. We've had Loki put out to not just the Whoopi that got the big old fan service, but now somebody that everybody can get on board with.
He found to love himself.
Huh?
He found to love himself.
Exactly. And boy, did he learn to love himself. Now he's just trying to get himself to love himself back.
Even though we had a huge argument over whether this was a completely separate situation or if this was self gratification.
Why not both? Why not both?
Because this is a whole different person. This is a whole different universe person, so it doesn't count as that act. But slide that to the side.
Wow, I see the ground just sloping down. And what is that, Vaseline? Yeah, I ain't gonna step there. I'm not stepping on that slope right there. That's a little slippery, and I didn't bring my skis. But we haven't gotten word 1 of Ultron at all since Avengers Part 2. Like not one. It's almost like they stuck him on the same bookshelf, but one rack more reachable than the Inhumans. It was like, yeah. I mean, seriously, we've heard about them about as equally. I think we got 1 mention of Ultron, no, 2 in the entire show of WandaVision, and that was just in conversation to remind us that he killed Quicksilver. Other than that, it's like he got killed by Ultron. What's Ultron? We don't talk about that. That's just like asking your uncle where he got that money he gave you for Christmas. You don't ask, But everybody else has gotten a whole bunch of ironing out, even to the point now where we're doing the Kirby Lost experience as an entire feature film. So I think they might either be saving Ultron for the I don't know. There's a few things that could be questionable and just hear me out on this. All right. I know what I'm about to say might be like tinfoil hat time. I gotta make one of those. But DC is still floundering, right? So if DC is still floundering and trying to figure out what to do with Superman instead of turning everything to Shazam, if they are throwing around Brainiac, Disney might be going, well, if they're throwing around Brainiac, we might not want to bring back Ultron, just like they might want to push back Submariner because Aquaman already came out. You know what I mean? It's not even like a matter of stepping on toes. It's a matter of who's copying who or which movie won't be seen. And these are multi-billion-dollar corporations, which is a synonym for risk averse. You know,
synonym for risk averse.
When I hear that, my brain thinks dollars in a different way, because if I'm remembering Deep Impact and Armageddon, people got no problem having the same idea out at almost the exact same time. What I'm thinking is,
can you get that quoted by the producers of Deep Impact?
What I'm thinking more than anything is, if we haven't seen Ultron, there's no deal on the table for James Spader. James Spader is like doesn't have a specific deal in place.
True,
because many of the deals are 4-picture deals, 5-picture deals, but his was a 1-picture deal.
It seemed more like a favor. Yeah, it did seem more like a favor. Like, all right, I'll come in and I'll do.
And moreover, exactly, given the current discreditation of Whedon and a lot of things that happen in his legacy that people are trying to shun and step away from, despite the fact that I honestly really...
Yeah, welcome to the party, guys. All you people out there that say, Joss Whedon, welcome to the party. Sorry,
I'm just saying there's a lot of reasons that are business reasons not to pick up that phone. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I don't know. If I were in Feige's position and I wanted to use Ultron and I couldn't get Spader, one, I would call Tom Waits, because it's one of the things that Francis Ford Coppola is always right about. And second, I would keep an eye on Warner Brothers just to see if they're doing Superman and they are going to let their audience heal from Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor in the same way they're letting the audience heal from Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. Then they're probably going to call up Brainiac, because the last time they tried Brainiac on film, Richard Pryor designed him on napkins. So it's been about 30 years since. So it's about that time over there at Warner.
It's more plausible to me. It's more plausible to me that Kevin Feige was like, but we was Kangs though. We got this going on over here. Why I need to step back to Dollar Tree Brainiac when I got this going on?
Oh, Dollar Tree Brainiac.
That's mean. That's mean.
But factual.
Well, see, I think that.
And to answer that, we already had Dollar Tree Cap, and people are still talking about him.
Like,
nobody worth talking is talking about.
In a video game sense, I think in this phase, Ultron could be used as like a good sub boss. Like, I think he could be used as like, before you fight Bison, you got to take on like Sagat. You know what I'm saying? You got like, so he could
tiger uppercut,
tiger knee. Like, so it could be interesting to see how he's changed or what kind of new threat he possesses, or poses now, since he kind of has the knowledge of his last defeat and how much stronger he could or couldn't be, especially since it seems like the one that ultimately took him down is kind of like in the wind.
Yeah. I know Ultron 3.1's first upgrade is less snark.
Oh.
I thought it was less stark. I thought it was less stark.
But clever. I was thinking about that with WandaVision, because it was week to week on the episode and they made the White Vision, and we didn't really know the components of the main vision of that show. So I thought when they made White Vision, I thought that he was going to come back fully Ultron. I thought that the piece of, because he has the components of Tony, Banner, Jarvis, and Ultron. So I was thinking that the government messed up and brought back the wrong idea, and it ended up being him as the white Vision. That's what I thought they was gonna do, but it happened to be Mephisto. No,
okay,
but yeah, that's
you know what, RJ? I'm only gonna give that my opinion because of one thing. That theory is 100% plausible given the complete and total incompetence of the US government in the Marvel movies.
Right.
Yeah.
If it ain't S.H.I.E.L.D., it's broke.
They were like, let's nuke New York.
Yes, in the movies. Yeah, because seriously, if it ain't S.H.I.E.L.D., it's busted.
And S.H.I.E.L.D. was still Hydra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
so that would have been a good twist. And it's still possible. It's still possible.
Well, yeah.
Because of sleeping software and stuff like that.
Right, exactly. Yep, that was the point that I was going for. So that's what I thought that they were going to do. So now we have this whole series of what if. So it's still a possibility that they could even have that as a factor of Ultron's new body as he won instead of losing in Age of Ultron.
Yeah. Oh, I have to make a retraction. We haven't gotten a full I guess you can say a rehash of all the villains from the MCU, because we still haven't touched on Zoloff. I forgot about Armin Zoloff. I mean, he showed up on the BGA screen.
I mean,
So I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe he'll be on the
Killmonger's going to be in the episode.
I think we're missing a very easy thing here. That it's very easy to see Zola. It's very easy to see Ultron. It's very easy to see lots of these people again as variants.
Yes.
That if you want an Ultron, all right, sure. There's a gajillion timelines now. Have an Ultron. Have a Zola. Have whatever you want. It doesn't bring back tentacle porn Doctor Strange. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. We don't need tentacle porn Doctor Strange. He's still here. And I had half when you're like, yeah, bring back, and I'm like, no, we haven't gotten Doctor Doom yet. But that's a whole nother show. Because honestly, I don't know. It's since we're talking about Marvel Zombies and the way that it was depicted on What If, trying to stay on track, because I get a feeling with this roundtable we could be here for hours, being like the two valets in a Key and Peele sketch. The fact of the matter is the zombie infection. I liked the origin. I liked that it was brought back from the quantum realm. I like that it was, again, it wasn't to happen. And I have to give it props to Marvel for coming up with a fourth. Okay, because this was not a failed government experiment.
Nope.
This was not an ancient curse from somewhere full of brown people.
Nope.
And this was not magic.
No.
It was smack dead in the middle of the 60, 70-year Marvel tradition of science is a two-bladed sword. It's a sword that cuts both ways. So science and superheroes brought about more stuff, but instead this time it was an accident. The intentions were good. There wasn't a whole lot of hubris. It wasn't, hey, we're mad scientists. We got to own that. So let's make this artificial intelligence thing. It wasn't, there's power out there that I've yet to learn how to use. It was real simple. I messed up. I lost my wife. I figured out how to go find my wife 25, 30 years later. And, I found her. Oh my God. So, and I'm kind of with that. It wasn't the superhero equivalent of drunk texting your ex. It was a real idea of let's go out there and let's do something that anybody would do. And oh my God, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, because even I can't really even dog out because there's nothing in their research or anything that would be like, oh, there's going to be like undead people. Because I mean, he had gone, I think, well, depending on what if this is, he has gone quantum before and came back once. Or we just talking about, no, Scott has. And so, I guess, he didn't see anything crazy. So he'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. We can go down there, try to find her. I've been having these visions. Just go get her. Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't see zombies when I was down there. So
you know what that makes me think of? There are a lot of people went to Antarctica and they didn't see what happened in John Carpenter's The Thing. And then finally, somebody did. And oh gosh.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you went there before doesn't mean it's always going to be safe.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's also not going to be dangerous. How many good days did Nakatomi Plaza have until that Christmas party? A lot. How many good Christmas parties did they have?
All he
had
wanted
to get a whole
to
new
do
calendar. They were very upset.
was see his wife. That's all he wanted to do. He just wanted to show up, see his wife, and mind his business.
Right.
And the next thing,
and he was even smarter about it than Spawn. I mean, seriously.
He caught him fine. He got burned at that event.
If we're going to talk about real quickly though, because this has been bothering me. Somebody tweeted about this saying, so what if Doctor Strange, I'll sacrifice an entire universe to bring back Christine, the woman I love. Real MC universe. She lives 5 blocks away and I haven't talked about her in 5 years. I'm like,
again,
we're not gonna get into that
universe. Alternate universe.
You know what's crazy about What If right now? Twice in this series, they're not liking Hank being a good guy. They want him to be the cause of drama and all this hijinks going on. It's Hank. So what is their problem with Michael Douglas? What did he do
in
to
all
him?
fairness, do you read Marvel comics?
Yeah, Hank's pretty rough. Hank
is not.
That's true.
From what I've read of Marvel comics, Hank isn't the easiest guy to work around.
No.
He teeter-totters a lot.
Teeter-totter. Read Avengers #1. Like, go back and just read the first Avengers. And the whole book, every scene that he is in, there's this underlying current of God woman every time Wanda opens her mouth. Every time. If you watch Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes, it's, oh, well, I'm a super genius, but you had to bring Tony Stark. What's going on with that?
He's a problem.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a problem.
Hell, even the Ultimates didn't change him that much.
Wow.
Yeah, they really didn't. Like him beating Wanda, that's Stan Lee, Jack Kirby level canon, so it's one of those things where, like, one of the big appeals, especially to Marvel as a universe, is their characters are supposed to be more grounded. They always have been, and none of their teams have any coherence, or none of their teams are sunshine roses. We like being in the same room. The only team that comes close to that, is the X-Men.
Power Pack. Power Pack.
Yeah, because the Fantastic Four are always fighting, like always. That's part of their appeal. They bicker and fight like a family. The Avengers never got along.
How about the new Avengers? The new Avengers were kind of okay.
They were kind of okay, but this is after years and years.
Well, yeah.
Hawkeye challenging Cap for who deserves to be leader. Iron Man battling his demon in a bottle. Nobody knowing what to do with the Hulk. Remember, New Avengers happened after the Illuminati blasted Hulk into space. I mean, the only.
I thought that happened before. Okay, never mind. I thought.
I'm thinking Secret Avengers.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Because I was like, New Avengers, I thought that started off with a prison break. And then like Luke Cage was there or something like that. And then Cap was like, you want to hang around? And him and Spider-Man were like, all right. And of course, it's Marvel, so Wolverine was there because he's everywhere.
There is a team at Marvel that always gets along. They always work together. They're always on the same page, and they never get any real love. And that's the Wrecking Crew. They always have the same agenda.
All right.
And they love each other. Those guys love each other.
You're right. The Wrecking Crew is the type, like we're talking squad goals. Okay, squad goals. I can't argue that, because I'm like, well, who else? As long as we're talking the villain, now the Sinister Six always hates each other.
Always.
I think the Inhumans kind of get along, but I think they more get along because they're afraid of Black Bolt.
Yeah, and it's more of a maybe caste system isn't the term.
Yeah, they give them reverence because it's royalty.
Yeah, because they're like a royal family, so it's a little. But then Black Bolt's brother.
Yeah, but he's not on the team.
Yeah, he's not
on the team, but he's not on the team. But yeah, so no, you're right. The Wrecking Crew is about the only one who can do squad goals. So when it comes to the Avengers,
wait, I thought of another one. Sorry, I just thought of another one. Hank Pym's illegitimate Russian assassin daughter Nadia created a group called Girl of all female scientists and engineers, and they were fantastic together. Sorry.
Okay, that man. I'm sorry. I don't know what else is in that room.
You have to go that deep of a cut.
Seriously, I'm like, I didn't hear a jackhammer. You must have muted yourself because you dug deep for that one.
Yeah, he went to the bottom of the ocean on that one.
I got this in stock. It's all. I ain't got to go in the back. It's all in stock.
But yeah, I mean, but all in all, the bad guy teams or the teams in the Marvel universe, as the casual fan knows, they're always bickering. They're always fighting. It's always been a staple in Marvel. Okay, always. It was the thing that was differentiating them from DC, because the Justice Society got along great. The Justice League got along great. The Titans, again, they're up there with the Wrecking Crew when it comes to squad goals.
Well, no,
I
mean,
because the
except for what happened to Mal and Bumblebee.
No, the original four. The original four. Okay, or the original five.
Is Speedy in the original four because the heroin use?
He was in the original four, and he was the closest thing to a problem. But he wasn't a jerk, and the heroin didn't start until 10 years after the book was really going.
Okay.
So that was a thing. Speedy's heroin, he kept that to himself. When it came down,
and that's
to
the lesson we should all learn, everyone. If you're on heroin, keep it to yourself.
Keep your addictions to yourself.
Too soon with Michael K. Williams. Too soon.
Well,
Too soon.
Okay, apologies. That I did not even think about the time.
No, that's fair.
Sorry, guys. That is. Y'all know I love my homie. Michael K. Williams. He's dope in everything. I've never seen him be whack in nothing. None of his interviews has he been whack. This is not a dig at him. Apologies.
Yeah, unlike brother from Walking Dead.
You mean Tariq?
Yeah, where my humanitarians at?
That's what his man ran.
Burger. I was on The Walking Dead and on The Wire. I want my bacon. That guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that it wasn't his brightest moment. I was like, why is Cuddy? I was like, why is Cuddy from The Wire acting up on a subway, son?
I don't know.
But you know what? I didn't know.
He's killing it on The Expanse. That's all I gotta say on that. He's killing it there. So he's good at his job. But yeah.
All right, so go ahead.
Oh no. I was thinking, all right, where do we go from here?
So,
where do we go from here?
To wrap all this up, we've gone all places Marvel. I want to throw this to the panel real quick before we bounce. Is this your favorite episode of What If so far? And if not, why not? Starting with RJ.
No, this is not my favorite episode at all. It's actually my least. I actually hate zombies. Like, I hate the genre all the way through. So this is not catered to me whatsoever. So I definitely not despised it, but I could live without it. I ended up watching it from my boy right here. But other than that, it could have went on now.
Okay, Hannibal.
I echo many of the sentiments that RJ said. The fastest way to make me tune out is to say zombie. But I will say my favorite episode had what had the Jimon Honsu we really deserved, good guy Thanos, Nebula in a wig, you know, and it was just so doggone dusty in that episode. I was so emotional. I'm going to tell you. So yeah, T'Challa as Star-Lord is my favorite What If episode. I appreciated this. I'm glad I watched it because now I'm able to track every variant through each. I'm like, okay, so we could bring in a zombie Hope and we could do this. And okay, that's good to know. But, you know, this is not really my wheelhouse. I'm not really rolling through.
Okay, Solar.
Well, given the way that this episode really paid homage to George Romero, and in a lot of ways paid homage to a lot of the people paying homage to George Romero, using the cinematography, the themes, the fast pace, even in the quiet moments. I have to say, as far as this episode goes, that it was not my favorite. Not my favorite at all. Again, I'm a little bit zombied out. And I didn't quite understand what this one was trying to say. Like, zombie stories have always been an allegory for the world that existed at the time they were being made, be it consumerism, prejudice, the military industrial complex. What was this one? I don't know. Bunch of undead superheroes. Was it fun? Yeah. Did it even have heart? I got a couple of beats. You know, I think my favorite moment in this particular episode was when Hope was like, Peter, stop being like Ted Lasso. And he's like, I lost everybody in my life. Mom, dad, uncle, aunt, girlfriend, wife, pets, friends. I looked at somebody and I said, I like your shoes, and they end up dead. So I crack jokes because if I lose hope, I've got superpowers and that would be bad for the world. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Peter. You know, I literally had the fat kid from Hook moment, or not the fat kid, but the little kid from Hook going, there you are, Peter. But y'all know, and y'all viewers know, my favorite episode was Evil Strange, because the themes were complete. Love that
Evil Strange.
Yeah, because one, it showed how powerful the character that we don't really know is, but it also showed the cost of that power, being the methodology, the time that it takes, and what could go wrong. You know, a big thing about wizard stories is the dragon isn't the bad guy. The circumstances in the bad guy. The wizard's hubris is the bad guy. And that was a story that really showed how a person don't just wake up cackling crazy. And a person doesn't just end up obsessed. It's death by inches. Let me just try this one more thing. All right, cool. I'll start with a little thing. Munch, wow, I got more power. Do I have enough to do another little thing? 100 years later, he's coming out with an even more stylish cloak. He's looking all emaciated, and he's doing all that. You know, it showed, as I said last week, the consequences of someone that powerful drunk texting their ex-girlfriend. You know, it really gave a matter of scale as far as the difference between regular humans and superhumans. You know, a regular human, they get drunk, they text their girlfriend. A powerful sorcerer gets drunk, eats a bunch of dark gods, tries to resurrect their ex-girlfriend, and destroys the universe, and ends up sitting alone in a freaking jewel, while the watcher is being like Willy Wonka, going, no, stop, come back. You know, but this one, I didn't get anything out of it. I just got a bunch of zombies. So I didn't walk away with any deeper thoughts. I didn't see much, what's the term? I didn't see much.
Substance?
Huh? No, not substance as it, I mean, substance might be the right word, but the way that we're talking about it, we're having a good time. But are we really teaching each other anything or learning anything from the discussion? Not really. It's just a good time. And that is what it set out to be. So I'm not saying it wasn't good, but I'm saying it wasn't my favorite. You know, my favorite is something that gives me a good time and makes me feel a little bit more evolved or more educated by the end of everything. And I didn't get that from this episode.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
I wasn't even left wondering about the multiverse. I'm like, yep, zombies. And it also had the zombie trope that I never liked and I really hate, which is once zombies happen, there is no happy ending. And Marvel, the MCU as a whole, has not set up horror yet. It hasn't given us the framework and the scaffolding for horror. Everything has been good guys win, bad guys lose, and as ever, England prevails. You know,
Blade has entered the chat.
huh?
Blade has entered the chat.
Yeah. You know, now when they bring in Multiverse of Madness and Blade and Morbius, and the Venom stories that the fans really want, that they'll be starting up hashtags for not getting, this ending will be a little more, I think that ending will be a little more, but the sense of false hope doesn't belong in the MCU yet. You know?
Okay, okay.
I feel the same.
Okay,
Huh?
okay.
You're looking for dead hope.
I'm just looking for big
I
hope.
do want to add something before we go, is
Mhm.
that the ending with Thanos, and they were on their way, and if we see in the episode that they are still able to have their thought power, or their thought able to use their powers, right? So if they're bringing the Mind Stone to them, and he's somebody about balance, he's about to create everything else that they're trying to stop. And it's going to be, you know, finishing off to have the zombie world, if they're on their way with the last stone, for him to do his snap, to have the perfect balance, because, you know, he didn't have the foresight of making more things to have a bountiful universe. So he's like, since this is everything equally as it should be, his words, not mine, he's gonna go ahead and just do that snap and do that. So that's a crazy ending to have, that it was just Thanos is still gonna be Thanos.
Yeah. Honestly, I got a flashback to Breaking Bad season 1 when I saw that, which is I've come through the entire universe, killing everything to get these gems, and you bring me more gems. You know? I mean, seriously, that's all I was thinking.
Well, when it comes to zombies, I'll be honest. I used to love zombies. Then zombies did get a little over leveraged in our current zeitgeist. There's a show called The Walking Dead. You might have heard of it. I used to watch it. I don't anymore.
I think it's like an abusive relationship that just treats you bad and promises that it'll get better in time.
Well, no, it was all right. There was a period of The Walking Dead where it was like cool, and then there's this period where it was like, oh, there's only one black person allowed on the show, but it was kind of like a little joke. And then there was a period when it was like, all right, man, look, Dad, can we have more than one person on the show? And then when they killed, the way Tariq died, when that happened, I was like, all right, I'm out. I can't do it. This man single-handedly took on like however many zombies were outside to save this baby. And we were like, oh, snap, boss level. And then one caught him slipping in a bedroom. Like, I feel like the writers just wanted him gone. I was just like, so after that, I was just like,
do the show.
I was like, I know this is dumb, but I think I'm okay with leaving this show now. And that was it for me. So I don't know anything after that. I don't know nothing besides whatever's on Twitter.
For me, I only watched season 1 of The Walking Dead. Thought it was very interesting, but as I said, I don't like zombies, so I didn't go back to the show. But when it did come to Fear the Walking Dead, I felt like it was a less on horror, and they was focusing on story, and they were focused on deeper on character. So I was more invested into the Fear the Walking Dead, But as the show kept going, it started morphing into The Walking Dead. So I fell off of that too. So it wasn't able to keep me. So I'm not too invested in the world of zombies by itself. I Am Legend is probably the closest things, but they're more vampires than anything. So yeah, it's not my style.
In the same way, like I've never watched an episode of The Walking Dead. I've never watched a consecutive 10 seconds of it because there's a cloud of zombie around it. And the second that cloud of zombie comes, I am not interested in penetrating that zombie to see what might be an enjoyable candy center of characterization or whatever. But I don't care because I don't want to get zombie on me. I don't. It's not what I'm here for.
And I got a lot of zombie on me in this episode. I liked it. It was fun. Similar to what Solar was saying. I think I had fun with this episode, but it's not my favorite episode because it ends up being kind of like empty calories. Like you're like, oh man, that was good. And then like an hour later, you're like, I shouldn't have ate that. So it's like
it was like that family-sized bag of the cheddar and sour cream Ruffles. You know, it's just like, you know what?
This what is it? King's Dominion in Virginia. They have this funnel cake. It's a funnel cake with sugar, and then I think like ice cream, and then like chocolate and like raspberry sauce. It's called like the Berserker. It tastes so great. But then about an hour after you eat it,
you mean after you're shooting yourself with insulin? Yeah.
Your body is like that one shot.
Son, you ain't 20 no more.
I mean, it's theme park food, so you know it's like over the top. But it's like the sugar rush is like wow. But then like an hour later, you're like, I shouldn't have had that. So my favorite episode, my favorite episode is the one with T'Challa. It was nice to see a guy just going around the universe making things better. Like just like people were happier, like taking down the bad guy, saving the universe because the guy's like, you know, I was going to kill half of the people, but hey, my boy told me not to, so I did. Like, that was pretty much it. So
all right, I gotta say this because this is as close I get to putting on my Hotep hat. But
the Hotep hat.
See that episode in its entirety had a good message. You finally had a strong king, a black man going throughout the universe, making things better, turning pirates that are out there, getting them to turn away from their slavery ways to make the universe better. Then these writers came in because you see, when black man makes the universe a better place, it showed that the white man had to come in and destroy everything by finding a little pimple-faced white boy at a burger stand. You see, I was almost there. With our king, the king that we stand, making the universe a better place. And I was like, you know what? This would have been good if it had a happy ending. But you see, because of Middle America, as they say, we can't have a black man making the universe a better place without everything being destroyed by a whole bunch of rainbow glitter goop because the white man wasn't there to stop the living planet. You see,
let me slow down. Let me slow down and take the kufi off of your head and deem you a no-tep here.
Oh, thank you. How long was I out?
I'm sorry. If you think that Ego and the burger stand Star-Lord were going to be able to take Thanos, Nebula, and T'Challa the Star-Lord?
Watch the epilogue. It happened. Because
he met him. They met. There was no sign that they won. There was no sign that Ego won. And first of all, I don't believe that Ego could take on Thanos, Nebula, Star-Lord, T'Challa, and the Reavers, and whoever else they want to bring on, because, oh, right, now he's got the vibranium back. Nah, I'm not going for it. Nah.
I would love to live in that headcanon. I really, really would. Because Ego got taken out by the Guardians of the Suicide Squad. I'm with that. I'm just saying the message that I got from the end.
If the Guardians of the Suicide Squad could take him, a much more competent group with Korath was not going to have no problem.
I get that.
Good point. So with that said, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Shouts to everybody in the chat. Clever Little Vixen, Eon001 for the super chat. Thomas D, Ghost MKC. Yo, even early with Thomas D coming through. We got RJ, Tell me where they can find you.
Hey, you can find me on my YouTube channel at The Nerdy Brew. I talk TV, movies, and everything in between, all with a cup of coffee. Sit down, have a cup of coffee with me as we talk all things nerdy, and I'll let it have you there.
All right, Hannibal.
You can find my reviews weekly on bleedingcool.com, where I'm the head comics reviewer. You can also find me on the iHeartRadio podcast Nerdorama with Mo and Tawala every week with my Bi-Power reviews. And you, as I noted, will be able to find Project Wildfire in comic book stores November 24th. Please pre-order it at your retailer. And you can read free adventure fiction that is subversive called False Flag at operative.net every False Flag Friday. Thank you so much.
Cool. And Solar Gray.
Well, you can find me, and by the way, I apologize for my tardiness.
You good? We cool.
I would give an excuse, but I'm back in South Central now, so I'm like, the bus caught fire. No, but you can find me right here on YouTube at Solar Gray. You can find me on twitch.tv/BID_P. You can find me on the social medias, specifically Twitch or specifically Twitter and Instagram under BID_P. And as of next week, we're doing the TikToking. We're gonna be TikToking for that's right.
That's right for all y'all, young youths. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for all y'all youths out there, we gonna have a middle-aged man trying to be cool, talking about stuff that he likes on the TikTok. So tune in out of sympathy or something to laugh at. I don't care as long as people show up. So yeah, and yeah, I'm glad I could make it today.
Word up. So, of course, guys, I'm going to go in and hit y'all down in them chats with them links. But don't forget to hit up NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you're saying. Hit the thumbs down if you don't, but you hit that thumbs down. I'm going to have not only Hank Pym, but also Hope come through and mini bite you with Marvel zombie juice, and you don't want that. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna. You ain't gonna be happy. Like you just gonna be a sad soul. So don't do that. Also, don't forget podcast for listening, Spotify for music. We got a whole bunch of joints that are dope, and leaving y'all with PL Parker Lewis and Arcatron. Guys, I ask y'all to stay safe. Don't worry about any kind of zombies, things that bump in the night, because ultimately some form of the Avengers will come in and help you out. So just stay inside. And you should be okay. So from us to you, we say thanks for watching and peace. Keep the gems from Thanos.
I'm the man, yes sir, that killed a bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dollars rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from Hunger.